Professor, for the welcome speech. Next, let's hear the welcome remarks from the Deputy Director of the China Asian Training Center for Financial and Taxation Talents of Guangxi University of Finance and Economics, Mr. Suekai Rao. Mr. Suekai Rao, the platform is yours.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. And good morning, dear students. This is Ms. Suekai Rao, the Deputy Director of China ASEAN Training Center for Financial and Taxation Talents of Guangxi University of Financial and Economics. Yes, and Mr. Rao, you can say hello to our students.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. At the beginning of the course, please allow me to make a brief introduction of the university and the center. Yeah, Guangxi University of Financial and Economics was founded in 24, and its history can be traced back to the establishment of the Guangxi College of the Commerce in 1916. This is a major undergraduate university in financial and economics built by the People's Government of Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. And the school has set up the 15 faculties, offering the 15-5 undergraduate program and has 4 programs for master degrees. In the following years, the university became the training unit for the Master of Professional Accounting in call for serving the special need of the country, and was awarded the China ASEAN Training Center for Financial and Taxation Talents by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Education. And this school focuses on the mode of independent development based in Guangxi and relating ASEAN and determined to the high-tier financial university of excellence to serve the regional economic and social development. And the China ASEAN Training Center for Financial and Taxation Talents rely on the Guangxi University of Financial and Economics. The center actively carries out the financial and economics professional training program and devoted itself to cultivating financial, fiscal, and taxation professional need of the economic and social development of the ASEAN country. So all in all, we hope you can enjoy this interesting class and learn lots of new knowledge from both sides. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Suekai Rao. Now we have come to the main event of this lecture. Please welcome Dr. Fitria Earlike Anwar Sani. Dr. Fitria, the time is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Dini. Can you hear my speech?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The Honorable One Rector University of Merdeka Malang, Deputy Director of Guangxi University Faculty Economics, Associate Professor Ying as a lecturer from Guangxi University Faculty Economics, and the team of co-study and all of students. Thank you for coming to this collaborative learning today. I'm glad to see you all, guys. Let's me to share screen. Can you see my share screen, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Dini. First, before I start my topic about e-commerce, please let me introduce myself. My name is Fitria Earlike Anwar Sani. I am a lecturer from University of Merdeka Malang. Well, before I give you material about e-commerce, please let me to give our prologue that today we know that the time we are entering the era we can call with the X concept between there and not. Why we can call this era between there and not? Because we know that today we can do buying and selling some product and services without meet with the customer or the sellers. We can shop without we go to the store, or we can buy some product or service without seeing and touching it before. It's implemented in the early 20th century called digital era, which gave rise to the era cyberspace. An era cyberspace, it makes easy for every seller and every buyer to do business with others without meeting physically. And this is supported by several facts. For example, the question is, who is the teacher and what would you ask? And then the second is, who is his friend and where are they coming from? What are your contact addresses? And then what do you shop? Where and with whom to meet and chat? What's anything? Listen to the music from everywhere. And what device do you use? Where does the income coming from? And how is your lifestyle? And then the last one is, where do you post your photo? I'm sure most of you will do one from the above. And the answer of this all question is sourced from the internet. Internet today is an important thing in our life because from the internet, we can do business transaction such as buying and selling electronically. Commerce in general is the exchange of goods, services, or something in value for business. Electronic commerce or e-commerce can be defined as business model that allows companies and individuals to buy and selling goods and services over the internet. Here is history of e-commerce in Indonesia. Early history of communication in Indonesia began with the correspondence. People in Indonesia do communication with the other people with correspondence. And then in 19th century, they entered the communication with telephone. And then after that, entered the era of television. And today, it has greatest impact from the era what we call internet. Here's the revolution communication in Indonesia. And how about the economic in Indonesia? We can see that its speed of economic change in Indonesia. The first, with the X, we can call about agriculture, and then industrial X, and today we enter in the digital economy. So, entering the digital economy, there are two characteristics. First is product and two is service. We can do the products. We can call product is good. Goods have two characteristics. The first is non-durable goods. Non-durable goods are tangible goods that usually consumed in one or several use. In other two words, the economy life is less than 1 year. For example, non-durable goods is food, drink, snacks, etc. And the second is durable goods. Durable goods are tangible goods that usually last long and have an economic life more than 1 year. For example, for durable goods are laptop, cell phone, television, car, and etc. And the second is characteristic of service. Service is defined as any action that can be offered by another which is basically tangible or not physically tangible. Goods have 4 characteristics. The first one is tangible, and the second is inseparability, third is variability, and the last one is perishability. Intangibility, it means that service cannot be seen. And inseparability, it means that service consumed and made together. And about variability, it means that service has a lot of variety. And perishability, it means that service cannot be saved. After we know about the types of goods and service, so we go on the category of e-commerce in Indonesia. Category of e-commerce in Indonesia, such as B2B, or we can call business to business. And then the second is B2C, or business to customer. And then C2C is customer to customer. And then the last is C2B, or customer to business. The first about category e-commerce in Indonesia is B2B, or business to business. The conduct to trading goods or service between one company to another company. For example, this case is to build an iPhone. Apple incorporated by its component from suppliers such as Samsung, Intel, Panasonic, and semiconductor producer Micron Technology. And another example, to build a car, an automobile manufacturer purchased its tires, batteries, electronics, hoses, and door locks directly from various companies. Here, e-commerce B2B, or business to business in Indonesia, for example, is bc.co.id, mbis.co.id, lalali.com, monotaro.id, asiku.com, and madeinindonesia.com. And about international, for example, is amazon.com, mallory.com, qualitymail.com, townandcountryhardware.com, suresupply.com, and turtle.com. Here is, for example, B2B, or business to business e-commerce in Indonesia. Name is Mbis Market. Mbis Market is still controlled by the government of Indonesia. Here is the page. As a seller, we can see the many items here. For example, we can see about sales request, and then the second we can see about sales offer, and the second we can see about sales order, and then sales bill and payment. Here, for example, that B2B in Indonesia that control with the government of Indonesia. The second categories of e-commerce in Indonesia is B2C. B2C is business to customer. This process of selling products and service directly between a business and customer who are the end users of its product or services. For example, Apple Incorporated sells their iPhone directly to their customer. Here's, for example, e-commerce B2C, or business to customer in Indonesia. Docopedia, its marketplace. Shopee.com, its marketplace. Lazada, its marketplace. Bukalapak.com, its marketplace. Ticket.com, its booking service. And Traveloka, its booking service. Marketplace is a platform that sells various types of goods and service, but booking service is for travel. For example, you can booking your hotel, train, or aeroplane in there. And for example, in international is apple.com, samsung.com, Alibaba, Amazon, Apple Pay, and PayPal. Next is e-commerce C2C in Indonesia, or customer to customer. A business model that enables customers to trade with each other frequently in online environment. Some C2C companies in Indonesia have problems such as lack of quality control and payment guarantee. E-commerce C2C in Indonesia, for example, is Docopedia.com, Shopee.co.id, Lazada.co.id, Bukalapak.com, JDID, and Blibli.com. And about international, for example, is Amazon.com, eBay.com, Pricelist.com, Mercies.com, and Zappos.com. Here, for example, how to shop via Docopedia application in Indonesia. Let me see.
Hello student, I will give you information about how to order on the Docopedia application via cell phone. The first is open the Docopedia application and log in with your account. If you don't have an account, it's best to create one first. And then find the item what you want to buy. For example, I will search about viral candy. Searching and then you can check, you can see the physically about candy and choose what you want. For example, I will buy the viral candy galaxy. Then click shop. If you're sure, then you can immediately press buy. I will buy for 2 viral candy. Then you will be redirected to cart page to see what items will be checked. And then after pressing the checkout button, you will once again be shown the order details, destination addresses, and delivery courier according to need.
Well, and the next is e-commerce C2B or customer to business. This type of business where the customer provides a server or product to the business. The easiest example for this kind of business model is in advertising. People or customers offer their online media social as a media advertising to business organizations or business companies. They can also provide products to those companies to see or to sell. For example, is from YouTube. E-commerce C2B or customer to business is Indonesia. For example, is Google AdSense, YouTube, Commission Junction, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and SurveyMonkey. Based on the research case study e-commerce in Indonesia, we can see that Shopee is the most popular and the second is Tokopedia. And then from this result, we can see that the most user is dominated by the woman. And then the largest correspondents who shop online is between 18 to 28 years old, where internet and smart devices have been introduced widely in the beginning of 19th centuries. And then from this case, we can see that 9 from 10 customers use device or cell phone for activity e-commerce, although we can access online market using smart gadgets or computers. Trends show that shopping using mobile phone are preferable in Indonesia. We may assume that cause that the mobile phone are almost every time compared to the other smart device. After we learn about e-commerce here, the several payments to do e-commerce in Indonesia. For example, Indonesia mobile payment is Dana ID, linkaja.id, gopay.co.id, shopeepay.co.id, ovo.id, QRIS Quick Response Code Indonesian Standard is QR standard code from Indonesia launched by Bank Indonesia and Indonesia Payment System Association. Here is how to how to use QRIS, for example. From mobile BCA Bank in Indonesia, the first you must log in to your bank, and then before you do payment, make sure that you have balance in your bank. After that, we can next to the mini QR, and you can scan the code of QR. After that, you can buy anything with the QR and fill the nominal what you want to pay. And confirmation, enter your PIN on your bank, and then this success. And the last, my video, for example, how to use QRIS to do activity in your everyday. For example, is how to pay use QRIS in the restaurant in Indonesia.
Hello everyone. So we in Blitar right now, and we in one of the most legendary culinary in Blitar.
It's to use the QRIS in the restaurant.
So QRIS is like one of the online payment, and we can use the application. All the bank I think have this application. So this is the QR code, so we can scan like this.
The first you must scan the QR
so we'll pay 5,000 rupiah
and enter how much you want to pay, and make sure the name of restaurant and input your PIN, and it's success.
So just simple like that.
It's simple and easier to do payment in everything in Indonesia. And then thank you for your listening, all our students. All those I shared have benefited for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fitria, for a very insightful presentation and a very interesting video at the end of the presentation. For all the participants, we will have the Q&A session at the end of this program. Please kindly type in your questions in the Zoom chat box. Next, we will listen to the lecture by Associate Professor Ying. Dr. Ying, the platform is yours.
Hi. Just wait for 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. Okay, while waiting for the presentation from Associate Professor Ying, for the rest of you, if you have any questions, please feel free to communicate with us in the Zoom chat box. Please type in your questions. We will have the Q&A sessions at the end of the presentation by Professor Ying. For the one who raised your hand, can you please type in your questions in the Zoom chat box? Thank you. Are you ready, Professor Ying? Not yet? Okay. And for the participants from outside China.
Is there a second?
Okay, you can check the attendance list in the Zoom chat box. Just click the link.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen now?
Good morning. Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
We can see your screen.
Oh. Yeah. Can you see me?
Yes. We can see your
Oh, can you
screen and
hear
we can
me?
see you as well. Yes. Loud and clear. Very good, Professor.
Okay,
ahead,
so good
please.
morning,
Yes, we can see
teachers
you.
and students. I'm so happy today we can carry out joint teaching activities and exchange learning about e-commerce. So in China, there is a saying that this is the best time and the worst time. I think this is very suitable to describe today's world. The worst pattern is developing and changing. So how to strengthen inter-regional trade cooperation and create a peaceful and stable environment is a good thing for the people of all the countries. With the rapid development of internet technology, e-commerce has not only changed the original business model, but also become an important way of cooperation between countries. So, and we note over the past 3 decades, China and ASEAN countries have developed rapidly in political security, economic and trade cooperation, education, and culture. So last year, the conference on celebrating the 30th anniversary of China-ASEAN dialogue relationship was held online. And China and ASEAN officially announced the establishment of a comprehensive strategic partnership and will strengthen cooperation in the fields of digital economic, great economic, and connectivities. So actually, so actually in 2020, so actually in 2020, the trade volume between China and ASEAN, okay, was the largest trading partner of each other for the first time. Both trade and investment have experienced historical double growth, so which reflects the strong potential of economic and trade cooperation and investment between China and ASEAN. So at present, China and ASEAN are conducting China-ASEAN free trade areas 3.0 negotiation and RCEP, which officially came into force in January this year, has boosted trade and investment, so which provide a broad prospect for trade and investment cooperation between China and ASEAN in the future. So e-commerce, especially cross-border e-commerce, will strongly support the cooperation. Sorry for that.
Please wait a second, we have some problem here.
Hello, Professor Ying, are you okay? We cannot see your screen. Professor Ying, are you still with us?
Yes, we are sharing the screen again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, we here have some equipment problem.
Do you want us to help you to share your screen? You can send me your PowerPoint presentation in the WhatsApp group, and we can help you to open the PowerPoint from here.
We are dealing with it. Please wait a second. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's all right.
This joint cooperative teaching. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see the screen, but it's still patchy. It's not that clear.
Okay. Yes, I see.
Mhm.
Maybe next time, because this time we can't change.
All right.
Okay,
But we can
is it
hear
okay?
your voice.
I already changed. Is it okay?
Yeah, yeah,
This
you
is
can continue.
another, okay, it's another slide. Okay.
That's
So
okay.
actually, in order to achieve this goal, China has established dozens of free trade zones for ASEAN countries. Nanning, where our school is located, has also established a free trade zone. So Nanning is the nearest provincial capital of China to ASEAN, and an important city for the long-term hosting of China-ASEAN export and the connection of the Belt and Road construction. Nanning has successfully served 80th China-ASEAN export and promoted the economic and trade cooperations, exchange and communication, meeting and consultation between China and ASEAN countries. So at present, Nanning's international transportation network facing ASEAN has been basically complete. Taking Nanning as the starting point, the goods can reach the surrounding provincial capital cities and neighboring capitals of ASEAN in one day, such as Ho Chi Minh City. In addition, Nanning has built a number of key cross-border logistics support projects, such as China-Singapore Nanning International Logistics Park, Nanning International Railway Park, and Thailand's cross-border e-commerce overseas warehouse. Its factory helping cross-border trade enterprise to export markets in Southeast Asia. So right now we have 3 pilot free trade zones covered. Yes, there are Nanning Airroad, Qingzhou Port Airroad, and Chongzhou Airroad. Okay, with a total area over 100 square kilometers. Since its establishment, the pilot free trade zone has made use of the land advantage to cross-border e-commerce business in ASEAN. So in the past 2 years, the cross-border e-commerce of Guangxi pilot free trade zone has achieved remarkable results. So last year, the import and export of cross-border e-commerce exceeds the 10 billion yuan mark, an increase of 259%. And Nanning covers 4 sectors, including modern finance, digital economic, sports and medical care, and processing and trade logistics. Qingzhou Port Area is positioned as a new gateway port for international land and sea trade, focusing on the development of port and shipping logistics. Okay. I changed the laptop. Okay, so the right side is the picture about the Chongzhou areas. So the Chongzhou area borders Vietnam, focusing on building a new for international land and sea trade. Okay, they're exploring new cooperation in border trade. So actually, the government want to encourage e-commerce between China and ASEAN countries. So Nanning government already held a lot of activities to promote new online marketing tools. For example, let's just look at this video. Okay, it has some problems about this. I will share another one. So can you see the video? Sorry. So I will send this video to you. So maybe you can see this on your computers. So this video is talking about how the government they encourage the people from the Malaysia and Thailand and Vietnam to do online live streaming activities. Okay, they will introduce the goods of Guangxi and the ASEAN countries to the audience of the live streaming studios. Okay, so let's just get back to the topic we are learning today, e-commerce and e-payments. When you think about the definition of e-commerce carefully, you will find that any transactions in e-commerce contains four basic rules. Information flows and capital logistics. So business growth is the process of buying and selling transaction. The main reason for developing in e-commerce for all the company. So information flow is the process of information transmission and communication between transaction parties. Capital flow is the process of capital transfer. And logistics is the process of goods ownership transfers. So when we engage in e-commerce, in fact, it is to manage these four flows. And there is a word say, no risk and capital, we can't call that a real e-commerce. Okay. So therefore, the e-payment is a very important content, so which I want to introduce to you today. Okay, now is the real time to talk about our topic, the concept of e-payment and the development of e-payment in China. There are 4 parts. The first part is talking about the concept of electronic fund transfer. So the electronic fund transfer, we also call e-payment. The definition of e-payment by the People's Bank of China is e-payment refers to the behavior that business units and individuals directly or authorize others to send payment instructions through electronic terminals to realize monetary payment and fund transfer. So when we understand this concept, we should pay attention that there is no e-commerce before e-payment. In fact, e-payment is earlier than e-commerce. So according to the communication infrastructure used by e-payment, we could divide e-payment into 5 categories. The first category is online payment. That is the payment activities that complete the payment functions through the internet. The second type is telephone paid, which completes payment activities by telephone through telephone network. The third type is payments through on mobile network and mobile terminals, so which is called mobile payment. The fourth category is the payment complete by the sales terminal of the mall cashier through the bank specialized, which is called points of sales terminal payments. So when you go to the shopping markets, actually you will use this payment. An automatic teller machine payment based on ATM machine of bank specialized. You have all these 5 e-payment. So compare with traditional payment method, e-payment has the characteristics of convenience, quickness, efficiency, and economic. So all payment methods of e-payment complete payment in digital form. The traditional payment method is to complete payment through physical entities such as cash flows, bill transfers, and bank exchange. And then we consider the system environment of e-payment. So we can see the e-payment is based on an open system platform. For example, internet. The traditional payment operation in a relatively closed system. The e-payment system has high requirements for software and hardware facilities, but the traditional payment is not. And payment has the e-payment has the advantage, for example, the convenience. Okay, so as long as the user have a PC with internet access, they can complete the whole payment process in a very short time at home or anywhere. The payment fee is only 1/10 or even 1/100 of traditional payments. So in the classification of e-payment we talk about, online payment is an important part of e-commerce. Generally, the payment we talk about in the major of e-commerce is this kind of payment. So online payment refers to the digital transfer of funds by consumer, manufacturers, and financial institutions through the information network and secure information transmission protocol in e-commerce activities. Online payment system is a comprehensive system based on the internet. So it will integrate shopping process, payment tools, security technology, certification systems, credit systems, and current financial systems. A complete online payment system should be able to provide a full range of financial service, such as payment information verification, bank transfer localization, financial management, delivery, processing, payment, and payment on behalf of others. So in this system, Actually, each part can be explained in great details, involving a lot of technology, software, and hardware. So I wonder if you ever use online payment. And I think Chinese students may be very familiar with Alipay and WeChat Pay. So while Indonesian students may be more familiar with OVO, what are your concerns when using online payment tools? Okay, so no one will answer my question.
I will answer then. If nobody will answer, okay, maybe if I use the online payment tools, what I'm worried about is, of course, about my data, about the transaction, about the money, because I'm using my card that connected directly to my bank account, because I'm afraid, are they going to take all my money from my bank? Something like that.
Yes, I think all these things you will very worry about. So actually, we can summarize all this problem into one word. Actually, it's talking about the online payment security issues. Okay, so the payment security is the most concern of all users. After all, it involves personal property. So whether payment security can be solved is also an important factor for the usage and the development of e-commerce. There is a very interesting security issues in China. I just want to share you. Okay, in 2019, Miss Song in Sanya, Hainan province. Okay, she suddenly received several SMS verification message per mobile phone. She didn't send any things about the money transfers, okay? She just received this message to ask her verification code. So after a while, the mobile phone received another text message showing that her bank card has been swiped away 50,000 yuan. So she's totally confused. What is happens? So this is because the criminals use special equipment to collect nearby mobile phone information. So they could receive verification SMS message without contacting the target market. Okay. So if you encounter this situation, how will you solve this problem? Yes, we call this SMS sniffing. It's a kind of problems, security attack. So in fact, in this case, users do not have any good defense method except turning off her mobile phone, or maybe turning on the flight mode, which means that if user encounter SMS sniffing and swiping, they basically have no good solutions. As long as it is attacked, the SMS verification message will be intercepted. Okay, so the problem is because the enterprise has not done a good job in the whole life cycle protection of data, the process of data transmission. So criminals can get the SMS messaging, bypass the user, and directly complete the fund transfer. So in order to solve this problem, the China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicom jointly issued the 5G News white paper on 2020. 5G message as an upgrade of SMS servers make solve this attack. Okay. So usually we could find a lot of common payment securing problems. For example, payment password disclosures, false website, false SMS, mobile phone lost. So when we build our e-payment systems, we need to think about how to ensure the security. For example, you need to share the transmission security, transaction security, digital authentication system. So this is the second part, the electronic payment platform and application. Yes, I just want to show you the application of these e-payments in Indonesia and China. Okay, actually we could divide e-payment tools according to different ways. So when we divide by the function of payment platform, it can be divided into 4 categories: e-wallet, payment gateways, payment API, and transfer platform. I saw these pictures in an industry survey report. If there is any problems or errors, so please point out, because it's talking about the electronic payment in Indonesia. Okay.
The famous one that we use most of the time is OVO, number 1 here. And also GoPay, we use a lot as well. And Shopee Pay, Link Aja. Actually, yeah, we use most of it.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. So
Thank you.
That's right.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Yeah. So when we think about the e-wallets, there are 2 concepts of e-wallet. One is pure software, which is mainly used for online consumption and account management. This kind of software is usually bank account or bank card account. The other is the smart saving card for small payments. The cardholder deposits a certain amount in the card in advance, and the transaction amount is directly transferred from the saving account during the transaction. E-wallet users usually have an account in the bank. For example, GrabPay and Dash in Singapore are e-wallets. So in China, the Alipay and the WeChat Pay, we could think it as an e-wallet. So payment gateway is the between the bank financial network system and the internet network. So when we do the fund transformation, we will use 2 different information system. Actually, it's from the infrastructure, the network infrastructure. Okay, so for the consumer, they use internet network, but for the bank, this kind of financial, they will use their financial network. So we need a payment gateway to transfer all information. So this is kind of e-payment tools. Okay, payment API intervention program is a new online payment program that integrates all payment channels in the markets. For example, when you look at this picture, we can see there are a lot of e-payment tools. Maybe some people would like to use OVO. The other would like to use GoPay. So the website have to think about which kind of e-payment tools the customer would like. So they will integrate all these e-payment tools. But if they do it by themselves, it's very difficult and it's not very convenient to build this system. So some kinds of company, they just offer this kind of service. They give an API to the company. When you build your website to do e-commerce, you can just use this API. Then you can give all the e-payment tools to their customers. Okay, one is the transfer platform, just help banks to transfer money. So when we look at China's e-payment tools, actually we could divide into 2 kinds. The first kind is the bank-led e-payment and bank-led e-payment. We call non-bank-led e-payment is the third-party payment. Okay, so for example, the UnionPay is an e-payment domain by banks. While Alipay and Jingdong Pay and WeChat Pay, which are third-party e-payment tools. According to the platform attributes of the tool provider, these e-payment tools can be divided into e-commerce payment tools. For example, the Alipay. We use Alipay to buy things and goods from the Taobao. Okay. The internet company payment tools provided by the internet companies. And also we know some mobile phone company, they also provide e-payment tools so they can connect their customers. Okay, so this kinds we call mobile phone company payment tools. The last is the ISP payment tools. In China, we have some ISP, internet service provider. Okay, all these providers, they also offer their e-payment tools. For example, the first one, E. In China, we call it E, but in English, it's Wing. Okay, the Wing payment, Wing e-payment tools. When we use this, okay, it's very cheap. So buy some items from the stores. Okay, so in order to protect people's property, the People Banks of China has set up a set of regulation and regulatory system to manage third-party payment instruments. The picture of the right shows us how the People's Bank of China, okay, just supervise all these banks and all these transactions. There is a very interesting application. It's about the third-party cross-border e-payment. Okay, because global cross-border e-commerce is developing rapidly, and China's demand for tourism and studying abroad service is high. So third-party payment companies are carrying out B2C third-party cross-border service. So why they just focus on the B2C cross-border e-payment field? So when we look at the data, we can see, okay, the B2B cross-border e-commerce is about 80%. So because when the company, when they want to focus on the B2B cross-border e-payment, they have to face to a lot of issues. For example, the international policy, foreign exchange control, and other issues. And company users need more service, okay, including trade service, marketing service, financial service, and so on. So which have great challenge and difficulties. Therefore, a lot of third-party cross-border e-payment company, they just focus on the B2C field. Only some companies will participate in B2B cross-border e-commerce, such as Alipay. So now China's Ant Group provides technical service to the world to ensure their security and build a digital wallet with broad-trend technology. At present, the digital wallet partners cooperating with Alipay have become the leading local digital payment service providers. Here's about the third-party cross-border payment enterprise participate in cross-border e-commerce process. So the left side is the export, the cross-border export e-commerce. The right side is the cross-border import e-commerce. Okay. So in cross-border export e-commerce, you could see the domestic third-party cross-border payment companies are responsible for exchange service and provide complete payment solution. Okay, the acquiring business is mainly complete by the overseas third-party payment company.
Sama-sama.
Hello? And banks and certain domestic licensed companies participate in the settlement of foreign exchange. So when we look at the cross-border import e-commerce, Chinese third-party companies participate in all aspects of payment, providing purchase service for the domestic buyer, and providing collection service for cross-border platform, and cooperating with domestic banks, to complete the process of foreign exchange, settlement, and sales. Alipay and WeChat are the main payment tools. So among the cross-border e-payment platforms, because there are so many Chinese students studying abroad, there are some cross-border payment platforms starting abroad. These platforms can be divided into two categories. One is the app of banks and the other financial institution. Okay, for example, the Unipay. And the other is the app of the third-party platform. They all provide foreign exchange, trading, and transfer service. But except Alipay, you need to give them 550 RMB for each transaction. The others are free, but we can see how they get money because they don't use real-time exchange rate, and because all these three platforms, it's a mistake. Okay, they don't use real-time exchange rates. But Alipay, they used real-time exchange rate. They got benefits from each transaction fee. But the others, they just because we know there is quite difference. Okay, because the exchange rates. So in the past, so this picture is about it's about one cross-border e-payment application called Okay, this platform is serving the students who starting abroad. In the past, we need to go to the bank to buy foreign exchange and transfer tuition fee. Handling fee was expensive and took half a day. But now we can use the study abroad payment tools. User can complete the payment in 3 minutes. And there is one-to-one online service guidelines. Manual double audit to ensure that the transaction is true and effective. The third-party platform carrying out study abroad payment service need to adopt a high-level security system to process data and meet the 3-level certification standard of National Information Protection issued by the Ministry of Public Security. It means not all the company can offer these cross-border e-payment tools for studying abroad. If you want to give your customer this kind of service, that means you need to reach this standard. Okay, this is the highest supervision of the countries. Okay, it requires comprehensive supervision of nearly 200 contents from 10 aspects, such as physical environment, communication network, management center, security management system. Okay, so now let's just move to the development of e-payment in China. Okay, so we will note the bank should take the responsibility to do the online payment, but in realities, actually it's the third-party e-payment. Okay, they force the bank to optimize their online payment. Okay, in 2003, Taobao was born as a C2C e-commerce trading website. An important challenge it faces is the trust between buyers and sellers. Should they pay first or ship first? In order to solve this problem, Taobao studied the existing solution of the market at that time. For example, PayPal. However, PayPal users mainly use credit cards for payment. But most people in China, we don't have credit cards. So it can't work. So Ma Yun also went to the bank. No bank was willing to help him solve this problem. So some Taobao user proposed that Taobao provide transaction guarantee. But at that time, if Taobao launched a payment system, it was illegal because there was no license. However, Ma Yun insists on realizing this payment system, and the emergence of secure transactions solved the problem of Taobao transaction. After a year, it covered more than 70% of Taobao's goods. With the continuous development of e-commerce, Alipay and other third-party payment platforms has accumulated more and more funds, causing the bank to pay attention to online payment and optimize their own payment service. Okay. So here is some summary about the development of e-payment in China. So we can see at the beginning, the e-payment tool is just to help consumer to pay online. But right now, the load of e-payment tools has changed. Okay, and they already changed the traditional business model, and they also built a live senior platform, okay, to us. So now in China, the mobile payment has increased, has been a new payment methods and become the main payment tools in China's e-commerce activities. This is the concept about the mobile payments. Because we don't have enough time to explain all this concept, so maybe you can see this after this lecturing. Okay, so now in China, there are 10 internet companies have obtained a mobile payment license. Actually, there are two pictures about the portion of China mobile payment user, and now we can see that. Okay, here I just list 10 companies who obtained mobile payment license. Okay, now in China, most people, they used Alipay, WeChat Pay, and Unipay. They are the main mobile payment products. Okay. So can you see all this picture? I just want to show you some pictures about the mobile payment in Chinese people life. Okay, now we can use the QR code payment, we can use NFC payment, and we can also use face processing payment and fingerprint payment and credit card payment. Okay, so there's a question. Mobile payment technology is not complex. So why is mobile payment in other countries developing so slowly and difficult to be widely used? And I think there are two reasons. The first reason is the user, okay, the use of the Western country, they don't have been formed, okay? They would like to use credit card and they fear and they are not willing to disclose personal information. And in China, we have formed a complete system and saving system for personal ID cards, telephone numbers, and bank cards. The Bank of China provides data entries to software providers. And also in the Western cities, actually they don't do that. Mm-hmm. And in the, for example, in some subways, okay, the network is not so good. So it's very difficult to use the mobile phone payments. Okay. So here's another video. Yes, I just want to show you how Chinese company, they use WeChat payment to change their business model. So now when you go to a store, okay, you can just open your WeChat and you can use a small applet. And this small applet can help you to get all the service. For example, we can place orders, and then you just wait. The service will give you all the dish your orders. And after the dish, okay, when you finish your dish, you can just use WeChat Pay to finish the online pays. Okay, this is a case about how e-payment tools to change traditional companies' business models. Okay. Okay, sorry for that. I have no idea what happens with this slide. Okay. So in conclusion, actually in the future, okay, I think there's a new way to do the online payment. For example, the digital currency. Okay, this is a new way of clearing and regional trade cooperation. It's a new way to do regional trade cooperation. Okay, so the internet payment is the bottom pillar of internet economic development. Its emerge makes up for the gap in traditional financial service and improves the efficiency of financial transaction. At the same time, it also improves the modern financial system and modern financial functions. In China, e-payment is no longer a simple payment tool. It also has financial attributes, which can help people realize credit loans and change the business model of traditional business. China began to study the digital RMB in 2013 and began to use it in some cities and stores in 2019. Essential digital RMB is a kind of digital currency, which is different from the mobile payment of WeChat and Alipay. So digital currency is the main e-payment in the future. It is expected to become a clearance method of international trade cooperation. We are also exploring the development of digital RMB under the framework of RCEP. Around these contents, we welcome you to communicate and study together. Okay, sorry for the disturb about the lecturing. Okay, so thank you for listening. Do you have any questions about my lecturing? Or maybe we can discuss about the difference between China and Indonesia's e-payment or e-commerce.
Okay, thank you so much, Associate Professor Ying Li. A very interesting presentation about the development of mobile payment, because I believe China is one of the pioneer of the mobile payment. And then a very interesting topic about improving efficiency, right, in the financial function. Actually, we have 10 questions already in the line. Please allow me to share the screen. I will show you about the Q&A. Okay.
Oh, it's too small.
Okay, give me a moment. Yeah. Okay, I will start from the beginning. We have few questions for Associate Professor Ying Li and also for Dr. Fitria. Let me read the first question. Ni hao, hello, my name is Rambu Pandaranga, student from University of Merdeka, Malang. I would like to ask you about what are the benefits for doing e-commerce and what are the weaknesses of doing e-commerce. Thank you. See you soon. Maybe this one, Associate Professor Ying Li can answer the questions. Give me a moment. Let me find someone make noise. Okay, thank you. Can you please answer this, the first question first?
Okay, so when we think about why do we do the e-commerce, You could think about into two aspects. So if you are consumers, that means if you're just a citizens, okay, if you do the e-commerce, it's very convenient for the consumer. We can buy at any time and any place. Okay, so if you have in China, if you have the mobile phone and you can connect to the internet, you can buy anything. Okay, so it's very convenient. The second benefit is, I think it's very cheap, because when we use e-commerce, actually we already cut off the middleman in the supply chain. So we could reduce the price of the products. Then the customer can buy this item with cheaper price. Okay, I think this is the second benefit. And the third benefit is, I think all the consumer, they can use e-commerce to start their business online. And the entry barrier is quite low. Okay, in China, actually, you don't need to have any license to do business. Okay, you just you just log on a website and register as a seller. Then you can get some goods from the suppliers. Okay, you just edit your information about all the goods, and then you just sell these goods through the internet. And because there's no policy to manage all this online business, that means you don't need to pay tax. Okay, so it's a good way to start your business. But when we think about the company, it's quite different. Okay, the company, actually, the e-commerce is a new way to do business. I think in 10 years ago, actually most traditional companies, they're not very interesting about the e-commerce, because if our goods is very expensive, maybe it's not very suitable to sell online, because if lost, okay, who will pay this? And if the goods is so huge, that means the shipment will be a problem. Okay, so but now the payments and the logistics is quite well. So now all the company, they would like to do e-commerce because it's more easier to achieve their customer. Most people would like to use internet. They will search information, they will search goods. So it's easier to get the new customers. Okay, so to them, it's a new way to do business, and they don't need to pay a lot of attention, and they need to think about the technology, because the third-party platform already offer all this service. Okay, so what's the weakness of doing e-commerce? I think to the consumer, it's very hard, because it's very easy to buy things.
Yes.
And
correct.
now, the Alipay, they also give us some loans. That means
that's
it's kind of
dangerous.
hard. Yes.
You will tend to overspend, right?
Yes. For example, I have 10,000 yuan credit each month. So I buy a lot of things.
Yes.
The one day I thought, I already used so much money. So yes, I think there's not too much weakness to do e-commerce to consumer, but to the company, because most companies in China, they already use e-commerce. So the traffic in the past is the traffic. You don't need to pay too much money to get traffic of the platform. But now they have to pay a lot of money to buy traffic, especially the third-party platform. So 10 years ago, you just need 3,000 yuan, then you can start your business. But now we will call you need 100,000 yuan to start your business online. because there's so many stores online. So you need to buy place to do the banner advertisement. So it's quite expensive.
Okay.
And the second is, even you have some new service or new adoption, new innovation, it's very easier to copy your service. Yeah, so it's quite difficult to do.
All right, thank you so much, Associate Professor Ying Li. Yes, I agree with you about the efficiency, right? Because when we go out nowadays, we don't need to carry our wallet. So everything is in our phone. Even in Singapore, some of my friends, they will just walk using their iPhone watch. You can make payment using the watch. So you just tap your watch like that. You don't even need to carry your phone. So it is very convenient. It's very convenient for people who want to travel light. For sometimes we want to jog, for example, we won't carry any bags or even phones because it's quite heavy. We need to jog around 5-10 kilometers. Just carry your watch and then you can just tap your watch to the machine if you want to buy water. So it is very convenient. But then the weakness, of course, one of it is, I believe, is about the safety, of course, but maybe not so much in China because just now you mentioned that they have like 10 selection, right? I mean, the government will make sure that you do the e-commerce very safe. So they have 10 items that they need to track. Okay, thank you so much. Next, I will continue for the second questions. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rexin. I'm a student at University of Merdeka, Malang. My question is for Dr. Fitria. So aside from those categories, is there even possible to do e-commerce with the governments, Dr. Fitria?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Bini. Yes, I think Rexin, it's possible to do e-commerce with the government in Indonesia. I just give, for example, the platform who their activity support by government in Indonesia for B2B, for example, is MBIS. MBIS, their platform to the e-commerce between government and the users or the buyer and or the business and the place in order to platform and people to business can place their activity and their orders. So Indonesia has this platform who present by government for the others. For example, is MBIS market. Thank you, Dr. Bini.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to share some experience about China.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so actually in China, we have a kind of e-commerce categories. We call that B2G e-commerce. So this kind of B2G e-commerce is, for example, the e-procurement system. You know, in China, there's a lot of departments who work for the governments. We need to buy a lot of items every year. So the government, they want to manage all this buying process. So they just built an e-procurement system. If you want to sell something to the governments, you need to use this system to sell the products. It's kind of B2G e-commerce. Right. To the citizens, we also have some kind of B2G e-commerce. For example, you will get married. you can just get to the website and you can you can just order and register. Then they will give you a time. Then you just go to the place and finish all the jobs. This is for the consumer.
Okay,
citizen.
Thank you. Yes. So actually, now the government, right? In Indonesia, we have MBIS when people can sell things to the government, and also in China as well. I think the government nowadays they want to make it the process of selling things to the government, because if the supplier are selling things to the government, they will have like a very big project, so-called, because of course the government, they will have a lot of employee and also a lot of parts, so they need like a lot of suppliers. They want to have the process clear, and also efficient. So everyone can see, oh, this part of government, they need, for example, the whole set of like chair for 1 or 2 big department. So people can start offering. So which is very good, I found.
Yeah, and once more, Dr. Dini, when the government will buying anything, they must buy in this platform, no more the other platform.
Okay.
Right.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Fitria. Next
Welcome.
question is from Sinli Chen, a student of the Guangxi University of Finance and Economics. I want to ask the question, what is the currently development of logistics in Indonesia, Dr. Fitria?
Yeah, I think this question for me, right? Because it's Indonesia.
Yeah.
We can see that since the e-commerce exists in Indonesia, the logistic movement get allowed more fast because of demand for send the packets to the other island. But if they send packets to the other island, it's needs more time because we know that Indonesia have many islands, right? So if we send to the other island where the customer live, it's more spend time. It spend more time. So not fast is they seller and buyer in one island. So the logistic Indonesia is today Indonesia try to development about the logistic with aeroplane, but I think it's more easier and not more spend time like this.
Okay,
it's quite
you.
different. It's quite different from China, but
Yes.
I'm very interesting. So, so you means they just shipped all the goods to the islands, and if I buy these items from the online store,
yes,
and I can get these items from the warehouse of these islands.
So actually, I can give you an example. Like, for example, I open the apps, right? I want to purchase things in Docopedia. I am right now in East Java. Then I will search the shop in my own city in Malang. Is actually more efficient. The cost of the shipment is much cheaper because it's inside the city itself. But of course, a lot of other items, it's not available in Malang. So we have to choose from other city or even other island if that is like very special from other islands, like for example, traditional food or clothing. So actually you have option. You want to choose the item from the city itself or from other places. But if from other island, we still need to send it using aeroplane, and it can be quite expensive.
So is it very expensive because outside the island?
Yes, for example, comparison, right? I can send items in Indonesia, in Malang city itself, to the same to the other city, but same in East Java. I can pay for like $10. But if it yes, $10 for example, then then if I want to send to other island, I need to pay, for example, double the price, like $20. So yeah, if you want to choose to purchase things, it's better to choose the shop that is nearest to you if possible.
Okay, so how many days I can get these items?
Actually, you have option. You want to have an express one, you can get it for 1 day, but of course it's more expensive. Like yeah, they have option, but of course it comes with the price. If you want the express one, you need to pay a lot, a lot more actually. Yes.
If I want to get it in a short time, I have to pay more.
Yes, correct. I think it should be the same in China, right, Professor?
Yeah, it's quite different because in China we are just like a land country.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, I understand.
So actually, it's very easy to deliver all the goods to each warehouse. Right now, yes, we can get goods in 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Because we have a lot of warehouse.
Yes, I think that's the difference because in China you have a lot of warehouse. Here, mostly because like Docopedia or Shopee, they have all like small shop. They don't have any warehouses in other places.
Yes, we also have the Lazada warehouse in Nanning City. So if you want to sell goods to Chinese people, it's very easy. Yeah, you just send your goods to Nanning.
Okay. But we need to pay for the shipment from here. That's the problem. It's going to be expensive
Yes,
from outside.
shipment is
Yes.
the problem. Also, it's a good way to enter China market.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Now let's move on to the next questions. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christy. I'm a student from University of Merdeka, Malang. I have a question for Dr. Fitria Earlike. Is there ever happen any data leaking from the e-commerce in Indonesia?
Yeah, I'm interested about this question.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there is data leaking there. I know that some report confirm that there are some data thief from the e-commerce from Indonesia. We can call it about cybercrime. I think in China have this situation like this about cybercrime.
How about in China? Just now, you give an example,
Yeah.
right? Like
They
one.
hack my data.
Is it in China as well?
No.
No, not really.
I think maybe 5 years ago, we still have some data leaking from the e-commerce. And now, because the government, they already do a lot of
Safety precaution. Safety precaution.
To protect the whole process. Especially the data transmission. Yes. So now I can hear a lot of news about the data leaking in China. I think our government already do a very good job.
Very good. Yes, a lot of improvement on that. Very good. Thank you.
Indonesia still development to the government to more save the data from the user, right? Because the data actually they sell to the bank, and the bank actually call the customer one by one for sales and marketing about their product of bank like this. I think Indonesia is still development and by government to more safe about the data of customer in Indonesia.
Yes, we're still in the process.
Institution, they need to do a lot of job.
Yes, we're still in the process of improving the safety of the transaction.
Yes.
So you need on your own, you need to check, like for example, you receive like a message from unknown number or asking for like verification number. Never give your own password or passcode through phone, because that's how it happened in Indonesia mostly.
Do you have any website or app just to educate your peoples how to use e-commerce?
Not really. I don't think so. But like a lot of people just start downloading and just keep buying and purchasing things.
Actually, the customer, they need a lot of knowledge about
That's
this.
correct. Yes.
So now we have a lot of website just to teach our citizens, how to use e-commerce and how to protect their property and how to use the internet channel to deliver information.
Yes, I think our government need to have that, like to educate all of the people how to use the internet safely. Because some people, they just, like, especially the youngsters, whenever they go to some places, they will ask about can I have the passcode of the Wi-Fi? So they will just enter the Wi-Fi and start doing transaction. They are using their personal number, like or all their data. So they don't realize that actually the public Wi-Fi is not safe place to do a transaction.
Yeah, sure. Public Wi-Fi is not safe in Indonesia, but government is still to be take care about it.
Yes. All right, let's move on to the next question. Good morning, Professor. I'm a student from Guangxi University of Finance and Economics. I want to ask the questions. What qualities should we have in e-commerce? Is there any qualities that you should have in the e-commerce? Or maybe what are the requirements, is it, for the e-commerce?
What kind of requirements? Because there are a lot of requirements.
So many requirements, yes. Just now you mentioned, yeah.
So who asked these questions?
A student from Guangxi, yeah, but I don't think she mentioned her name.
Yeah.
Maybe they have the question in Mandarin. This is just a translation. Okay, let's talk about this again later. Let's move on to the next question. Good morning, I'm Putri Septiani from University of Merdeka, Malang. She wants to ask questions to Dr. Fitria. Can Docopedia and Shopee be called as e-commerce? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Putri Septiani. Yes, of course, Docopedia and Shopee, we can call it e-commerce because Docopedia and Shopee is like a marketplace where we can buy, or the buyer and the customer in the platform. So activity we can call in the platform is e-commerce.
Okay, so it is, yes,
could be kind of B2C or C2C e-commerce.
E-commerce, yes.
In China, a lot of students and a lot of company now we learned how to use Shopee.
Shopee, oh yeah, that's great.
There's Shopee.
I have a course to teach students how to use Shopee and Lazada.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How they do it? I mean, they ask the
I think there is Alibaba, right?
Yes, of course, because we use Alibaba to do cross-border e-commerce to the European countries. But now the ASEAN country, the ASEAN market is very, how to say, has a lot of potentials.
Okay, it's very competitive.
Yes, a lot of company now they move to the ASEAN markets, so they have account. They have account in on the Lazada platform and the Shopee platform. They need people to do this, to do the online business. So we teach our students how to use Shopee and Lazada. And they also have their account to sell goods to the Southeast Asian markets.
Yeah, nowadays we have we as a
problem is the language.
Oh, okay. Do the platform have a Chinese language or in English?
Yes, English is okay, but if they use other language, it's very difficult for us.
Okay. How about in China? Do they use Mandarin or English? The platform?
In China, we use Mandarin.
No, I mean the Lazada and also Shopee in China.
English.
Okay. That's actually the gap. They should use Mandarin. They should hire other people to do the translation. So it will be easy to use and encourage people to buy more.
Yes. Hope one day we could have this new technology.
Yes. Next question will be from Medianti. She is from University of Merdeka, Malang. Questions for Dr. Fitria, Earlike. What are the challenges in implementing e-commerce in Indonesia? Thank you in advance.
Okay. Thank you, Medianti. I will answer your question. Is the challenge on implementing e-commerce in Indonesia? I think good security good security to secure about the data of the customer, and maybe the second is more user friendly because all the people of Indonesia, I'm sure that not all of the people in Indonesia can buy in e-commerce. So I think they must give information about user friendly for their activity. And then the last is good customer, right? Good customer service to answer about user question, about the trouble in system. So the customer can connectivity with their customer service to answer their problem, something like this.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Fitria. So actually one of the main problem, like we discussed previously, is about safe transaction. Yeah, about the security of the making payment. Yeah, about the security of your data as well. Next question will be from Guangxi University of Finance and Economics. The question is, does epidemic or pandemic maybe, does the pandemic have any impact of the development development of e-commerce in Indonesia? The main performance in what ways? Thank you. Actually, not only in Indonesia, all over the world, I guess. But in my observation, I don't know about Dr. Fitria or about Professor Ying, I think pandemic make people stay at home and they like buy something more. So actually the e-commerce is growing during pandemic, but of course I don't see the data yet. What do you think, Dr. Fitria and Professor Ying?
Yes, I think about pandemic, we have a positive impact, but in the other side, we have a negative impact. For example, the positive impact that I know in Indonesia, that because people cannot go anywhere, just stay at home, so they shop their daily activity by e-commerce, right? But in other side, the negative impact that because many people work from home and they no more benefit, they don't have fee no more, so because they don't have a lot of money, so they not to sell anything, so just at home. I think it's have different things about advantage and the weakness about from the pandemic. I think not only in Indonesia, but in other the words. Maybe from Professor Ying, you can answer how about this condition in China, right?
Okay. So actually in China, because you know our payment system and the logistics is well done. So even now we have to stay at home. Actually, there's no any difficulty to buy or sell goods. Yes, maybe for the seller they have some problems because the production life have to stop, so they don't have enough goods to sell. But our logistics is good, so now there's no any impact actually. I think it's a good thing because a lot of people think it's very easy to use e-commerce way to buy items. So even the young people or the old people, all the people in China that accept e-commerce. And now we just develop a new way to sell products. For example, the live streaming. Okay, so everybody can be a streamers. Yes, it should introduce the products to our customers. So I think it's a good thing to develop the e-commerce. Actually, the disease. Yes.
Yes, because people stay at home and they just got nothing to do and keep buying things online.
You don't do the exercise online? Now in China, a lot of people do exercise online.
Oh, yes. Of course, we do exercise online as well.
Music, yes. And then we work online and study online.
Correct.
Everything online now.
Yes. Okay, so the next question is actually similar to the previous question. It's from Ella Maikuyo from Rizal Technological University, Philippines. Thank you for your questions, but I will move on to the next question. The next question is, hello, I have a question to ask the Chinese lecturer. What are the express deliveries in China? Is it, what do you mean by that? Is this a part of the e-commerce
company? Or what?
Yes, I also don't know. I just copy paste the whole question. The question is just like this.
Actually, in China, we have different kinds of express company to deliver goods. Okay, I think in the big city, it's okay. We can get any goods in a very short time. Okay, in half a day. But if in the country, no,
Suburban.
in the village, yes, in the village, it's a problem. But now we want to find some way to fix to deal with these problems. So if you want to sell the products to the village, it will take maybe 2 days. Okay, and it's still very expensive. I think there is a lot of very good goods in the farm, but they have to pay a lot of money to buy it.
Yes, so the cost of the delivery is the problem. Yes,
you need to find we call that last 1 kilometers logistics solutions. Yes, now we try to figure okay, try to deal with these problems and try to find a good solution.
About
that. Yeah, because I don't know what do you really want to ask. So
yes, but it's okay.
let's share this.
Thank you so much. The last question is from students from Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship. In the name, it is the name of the Rizal Technological University from the Philippines. I would like to ask, how much would you recommend aspiring entrepreneurs like us to invest and use electronic payment platform, given that there is a risk in security breach? So they are young entrepreneurs, they want to start their business. Is it good for them to use the e-commerce, to use the electronic payment platform? How is it, Doctor? Professor Ying first, maybe?
I just let me think about it. Okay. So I think it's okay if you want to use the payment platform to do your online business, because in China it's very easy. You just give them some money. Okay, for example, your bank account. Okay, how to say that? They don't manage your bank account, but
okay.
your bank.
So you don't have to declare the amount of money that you have, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it's easy because you need to deal with the trust between the seller and buyer. So if you use third-party e-payment platform, then you can deal with this problem, the trust problems. So I think it's good to use e-payment platform to do business online.
Okay,
and
thank you.
You need to invest a lot of money to build this kind of e-payment system. So actually you can't do it by yourself. And also the government, they need to regulate all this transaction. So you can use the platforms.
You can use, all the available
company.
You can use all the available platform out there. How about Dr. Fitria? What do you think? Is it good to use the electronic payment platform for the young entrepreneurs?
Yes, I think I will recommend about the digital economy to use online payment, because you can give more customer from here, and no more spend money for start your business, and you can sell your product to the others, not just only for the Indonesian customer, but from Nanjing, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's enough, Dr. Dini.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fitria Earlike and Associate Professor Ying. Finally, we have come to the end of our program. I believe all of us are learning so much. Thank you for the very interesting discussion about the e-commerce in Indonesia and in China. Very interesting and very eye-opening. It's a very good topic, because nowadays all of us are using the e-commerce, the platform, but sometimes we don't realize that we use it. And then for the last section is the taking pictures session. Can all the participants please open your camera? Let's do the taking pictures session. And I will hand this session over to Go Study. Can you please lead the taking pictures session? Thank you.
Yes, dear student, please turn on your microphone, camera. Okay, I will counting down and please wait a second.
Okay.
Dear participant, please turn on your camera. We'll have a group photo. Yeah, I will give a few minutes to the participant to open the camera.
To all the participants, can you please kindly open your camera and smile to the camera? Please get ready to take picture.
Okay, and I will count it down.
All right.
Okay. 请同学们打开一下摄像头。Yeah, I will invite the Chinese student to open the camera. 对，同学们请打开一下摄像头，我们要进行一个合影。Yeah, I will counting down. 3, 2, 1. Okay, once again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more time because I have a lot of participants open the camera, so I need to take many photos. Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time to attend this course. Yeah. And we will have another course in the Friday,
Yes.
in the Friday morning. It's about the international chat. So, and that's how I will send the link for you guys to enjoy the course again. Yeah. So, Dr. Dini, do you have anything you want to say?
All right. We have come to the end of our program. Thank you so much for your participation in this event, for all the participants, and especially for Dr. Fitria and Associate Professor Ying. Thank you so much for taking your time to share your knowledge in this class. I believe all of us are learning a lot from this short, like 1-2 hours class, and we will see you again soon in other international collaborative teaching class. I will see you on Friday. Thank you and take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, Professor Ying. See you, Professor Ying.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. 谢谢. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.